Basketball.
It's time to strap in and get ready. The Insight NBA team is in the arena, bringing you the ultimate play-by-play on who's hot and who's not to help you win your leagues and dominate your mates. You're now hooping with your hosts, Matty G, Skitty, and Mally for the Insight NBA show.
G'day everyone and welcome to what is a mini-sode because it's part two. We've already done part one. It's part two. We are on the All-Star break. We are resuming play for the rest of week 17 in our Yahoo leagues. In ESPN and Fantrax. Yahoo, again, behind the eight ball, matchup 16, call it what you will, but no matter what, it kicks off on Wednesday with one game. Thursday and Friday, 9 games respectively. Saturday is 5, and Sunday again, coming at you with 10. We're starting it off with 10. We're finishing it off with 10, and we can get a little bit of juice of this one. Let's get down to it. That's the schedule. Let's focus into the weekly schedule.
He's heating up.
Now, straight off the gate, the reason why there's a mini-sode is there's certain ways we can play this, and you want to be like, gee, where are our ads? Where are the streams? We're going to get to that really quickly today, tonight, this morning, whenever you're listening to it. We're going to get to the streams because this is the value. There are only certain teams with 3 games. Now, we can break it up over the whole NBA with the Hornets, the Cavs, the Lakers, the Grizz, the Bucks, the Knicks, the Orlando Magic, Phoenix Suns, and San Antonio Spurs all have 3 games to finish off the week. I've got Luca on this image because news has come down today that LeBron James is going to miss 1 or 2 games. Those 1 or 2 games are against the Charlotte Hornets and the Portland Trail Blazers. Quite potentially he'll be missing 2 games if I'm LeBron James. I want to be stressing that so much with people playing for lottery balls around that part of the world. The only team that we need to pay attention of this week is the Sacramento Kings. It's just one and done for these guys. And I've got Keon Ellis there on the graphic if you're watching the video, because Keon only has the 1 game, and he's been the fringy guy that we've been pulling in, the 27-point eruptions, the 7 threes, and the cheeky steals. We love that, but we don't expect him to get 27 points a night. We don't expect him to hit 7 threes tonight, but we could expect 27 points of 2 or 3 games of 1 ad. So guys like Keon Ellis, or if you're holding any fringy Sacramento King, they're the immediate drops. Everyone else is 2 games. That's Atlanta, Boston, the Brooklyn Nets, Chicago Bulls, Dallas Mavericks, the Denver Nuggets, the Pistons, the Warriors, the Rockets, and the Pacers, the Clippers Heat, Timberwolves, the Pels, the Thunder, 76ers, Trailblazers, the Toronto Raptors, the Utah Jazz, and the bless up for the Washington Wizards. They all have 2 games. So let's focus on the 3 gamers for a second here. Again, the Hornets, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Memphis Grizzlies, Milwaukee Bucks, New York Knicks, Orlando Magic, Phoenix Suns, and San Antonio Spurs. Now, the low volume days as we look here are obviously on the Wednesday and the Saturday. The 2 games, the 2 days with the 9 games each Thursday and Friday, make it a little bit, look, you can stream in that one. It's not like there was the 15 games and the 30 teams all playing on the 1 day before the break. This is like a streamer's paradise in a way. And I'm going to hit you with the main ads right now. My main targets for this one have to be, without a shadow of a doubt, these guys. Dalton Connect, Jackson Hayes, Alex Len, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Rui Hachimura, especially with the news with LeBron missing a couple games here. These are the fringy guys. Even throw Gabe Vincent into this mix as far as I'm concerned. And also, we've got the Charlotte Hornets. We've got Elfrid Payton, Moussa Diabate. He had the eye issue. He was out last game, but he should be good to go. Nick Smith Jr., Yusuf Nurkic. He's still being picked up and thrown around in some leagues. Taj Gibson going for big-ass double-doubles here and there, 18 and 10 or whatever it is. Who knows what these guys are going to do? And Seth Curry, if he's available as well, he's able to pop off. Now, they've got a back-to-back, and they're not going to play these guys. They're going to play the young guys like Nick Smith Jr. and Moussa Diabate. I probably guess Taj Gibson. Yusuf Nurkic, Nurk is going to be on a bit of a minutes limit for these guys. We know this. But these are why they're my ads, because these guys kick us off with a back-to-back to start it off. Wednesday and Thursday, back-to-back Hornets and Lakers, and we absolutely love that one. The Cleveland Cavaliers, the Grizzlies, the Bucks, the Knicks, Magic, and Spurs all roll Thursday and Friday. So there's the juice that we can get then. What we're looking for next is Friday and Saturday games for the Rockets and Jazz, Saturday and Sunday for the Phoenix Suns. Now, this is where it's good for these guys who are mentioning those must-target players. What reason why they make my target? They make them my targets for one particular reason. They are done by Saturday. They play the Wednesday, Thursday, great. Rest Friday, play on Saturday, and you can drop them off and get another ad. So you can get basically 4 games out of 2 ads for your week, and you can also set yourself up quite nicely. Now, the Suns do have that Saturday and Sunday back-to-back. I'm not so concerned about that, but I want to eke out a win, and I want to eke out that win, and I want to finish my week strong and move into week 18 with a bit of confidence with playoffs, assuming I'm going to look to add someone from the Atlanta Hawks, and there's some value there. We'll talk about those when we go through the injury. Look, I'll stuff it. Here we go. Gorgeous Nang. I call him Gorgeous Nang. I love Gorgeous Nang. I think he's going to be a good ad for them and very solid, especially with Larry Nance Jr. out for a while and Clint Capella still struggling to come back into this lineup. You got Detroit Pistons, Indiana Pacers, Los Angeles Clippers, Miami Heat, the Timberwolves, the Thunder, and the Wizards. These guys all play on Sunday and Monday. This is great value for us in fantasy because if we're looking really strong in our week, we can tactically bring in, just do it now. If Rui Hachimura's on your waiver wire, you pick him up, all right? You get your 3 games out of him. Maybe LeBron misses the rest of this week and just has a really good one. Like we know he has these extended breaks sometimes on the low and he comes back. So this is where these guys get really good value. We get them into our lineups, we give them a bit of burn, and then we dump them off in the car park, ready to go. Sunday, Monday, 0 ads for next week. I'm already stoked. I've already got an ad. I've already got a player that I can use on the day. I'm dropping my worst player off who maybe wasn't even playing on the Monday. So this is where that becomes really, really valuable for me. So that's how we can best get our streams and break those down into it. So let's go again for this one and go over the back-to-back sets. We're looking for the Hornets and the Lakers Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the Cavs, the Grizz, the Bucks, the Knicks, the Magic, and the Spurs. If you need to eke out, if you want to play a game, maybe if you saved all your ads, you just want to get frisky with it. You've got Friday and Saturday. But again, we don't want to do that because we can see that that's the higher volume games. So we're not going to get quality out of these guys. We're going to get 2 quality games out of the Los Angeles Lakers and the Charlotte Hornets, no matter what, and open ourselves up for that Sunday. Maybe we don't need to make a Sunday move. Maybe we still do. Maybe your worst player is worth dropping off to get that game on Sunday, locking you in, or even if you have to bench him if it's one of those leagues and it's counting and can go off your opposite way with turnovers or personal fouls, you bench that ad and you start off your week strong with them if your guy that you're dropping wasn't playing on the Monday. So we move those into, again, the Atlanta Hawks players. We're looking for value there. Detroit Pistons, Indiana Pacers. We've got Clippers. Like Thomas Bryant's on wise. Bring him in for the Pacers for bloody hell. Los Angeles Clippers, Miami Heat, Minnesota Timberwolves. We've got the Oklahoma City and the Washington Wizards. This all comes down to give us a bit of value, but the best value we can give you is our good friends, the Standard Squeeze. Lock these guys in. IFS 2025 is the promo code you want to use to get the most of all your boy on the way to work today. Welcome to the office day. This is like, why is Matty G not wearing a baseball cap and a t-shirt? He's got a collar. Yeah, I do at the office today. And so this is what you get, office G. But I could brought in my 4-in-1 in the car on the way here, out the door with the kiddo, coffee in, good to go, on my way, pick it up. IFS 2025 is the promo code you want to use. And also don't forget about our line of Insight Fantasy apparel for all you Insight Fantasy hoop heads or just hoop heads in general. All the gear is down below. Make sure you check on that out. Hit on the product button and take a look at the gear to get on your back. Let's fly through the injury report and see where we can get a bit more of value. Now, look, as I mentioned, Atlanta is a free-for-all right now. Karis LeVert's been an ad there and Gorgeous Niang. Larry Nance and Clint Capella have been out for a while. They're going to be out for probably a little bit while. I think Clint Capella's on the buyout market, to be in all honesty there. In Boston, that's right. It is the injury report. We are back with it because, let's be honest, what ultimately fills all of our ads is what's available on the injury report. So let's get on down to it and make some moves here. And the first thing, as I mentioned earlier, in Atlanta, Vitz had a lumbar fracture. He's out for 3 or 4 weeks. Nance has been out for the next 6 weeks. This is where my boy Gorgeous, good old Gorgeous Niang, becomes an ad, and Karis LeVert are ads, especially with Clint Capella. Possibly, I'm thinking is just going to hit the buyout market at this point indeed. Over in Boston, Jaylen Brown missed games. He was at the All-Star weekend. Holiday has been out. Again, just looking to stream there where we can around the fringes, especially on the back-to-backs with the center. Luke Cornett and Sam Hauser being the ads for Boston. Brooklyn, good ads. If for any reason, Cam Thomas on your waiver wire, let's keep our eye out for him. He is apparently ready to return right after the All-Star break. We'll come to some other of these ads that we can make our way through as well. In Charlotte, LaMelo Ball missed the last game with an ankle injury. He looks to be returning. Musa Diabate was out with the eyes, but as I mentioned, there's a whole lot of Hornets ads that we can make the most out of. In Chicago, Lonzo Ball is returning. He's been out with illness, but he'll be returning after the break because he's going to get better if you have a lot of chicken soup for 2 weeks during this week. In Cleveland, Ty Jerome missed the last game with a calf injury, looking for his an update and status there. Whereas in Dallas, just a whole bunch of moving pieces, Dante Exum being ads. We had, obviously, Kyrie Irving missed the game before. He came back. He plays the All-Star game. His team won. Klay Thompson missed that. They're all going to be returning. Let's look for injury updates there, with Prosper being a speculative ad there over in Dallas. In Denver, we've had the calf injury for Aaron Gordon. He should be back after the break. MPJ as well. And Russell Westbrook is a chance to hopefully return straight after the break, or at least in the second game that Denver has on the back end of that one. In Detroit, it is all smooth sailing, whereas in Golden State, Jonathan Kuminga is back in doing workouts, and that's going to hurt Pods, who's been an excellent top 80 ad recently in time. But Golden State, he is going to be reevaluated after the All-Star break. So we've got a couple of games of Warriors value for this guy, and then maybe he returns definitely for next week. So let's see what we can get from him. In Houston, Fred VanVleet has missed the last, I think, 7 or 8 games now. He is going to be returning near to the All-Star break. He could be making his debut in their first one, and they do have the back-to-back this weekend as well. So let's just watch that, because I don't think he will play in the back-to-back if he does return. The big name to watch there is Jabari Smith Jr. He has been a speculative ad, obviously not knowing what's going to happen with his minutes since he went out of that rotation in Houston. He'll come back, and I think he's a really good, I mentioned this in the show, with DMAC, NBA Fantasy Bible, on the 10 moves you must make. I think Jabari Smith Jr. is an automatic add into an IR spot. We wait for him. We see where it goes. Because if he ends up getting into the second unit, I think he could put up some really big numbers there for the Houston Rockets. In Indiana, Miles Turner has missed the last 3 games for the next round, and Jarvis Walker has been out with back soreness. Where in the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard didn't play the back-to-back beforehand. Obviously, Coffey didn't play knee soreness. Drew Eubanks missed that. I think Drew Eubanks had there a sprained ankle, so he probably might not be returning. So let's just look to get our minutes there. Obviously, Ben Simmons has been the ad for the Clippers. He was tremendous in his debut. For the Lakers, we now have that confirmation. LeBron is going to be out 1 or 2 games. Well, they're against Portland and Charlotte, like I said. So he's probably out too. The Lakers do play 3 games to finish off the second part of this week. Now, that being the case, LBJ could sit all 3 of them and make a return healthy. But we have had good news that the minutes limit that was hampering some of the impact that Luka Doncic was having is gone. So Luka is back now. His minutes restriction has been lifted, which is great news for his owners. Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent both had sore knee and ankles. We expect them to make a return. And they're, you know what, probably stream options, depending on if you're in a 10 to 20 man league and what your settings are there. Memphis, Jar and Vince, most of the missed last game with the knee issues, should be returning straight after the break there. In Miami, Bam Adebayo had a knee contusion last game, but looks rested and he'll be back after the break. Andrew Wiggins didn't play with illness, getting minutes back in here with their lineup, with Terry Rozier missing the last 2 games with illness and returning to full health. In Milwaukee, Giannis Antetokounmpo obviously has missed the last 6 games, and he's just looking cute on the sidelines at the All-Star weekend with his kids. He'll hopefully be returning soon on after the break. Damian Lillard missed the last game with a hamstring injury. We expect him to make a full return as well. In Minnesota, Rudy Gobert missed the last game with back spasms, and Conley missed the last 4. He had that sprained finger issue, but also we've had an update there for Julius Randle. Now, his adductor strain is working his way through. He's going to be reevaluated later this week, and hopefully we get some more updates on him. In New Orleans, Zion set out the games of the back-to-back set. Brandon Boston missed the last 3 with a sprained ankle. All these guys are returning, whereas the reevaluation of Yves Missy, who was playing well for these guys, is where Marko Makovic, Big K, Special K as I like to call him, he's going to get some more burn this week, especially with the hyperextension to Missy's knee being reevaluated this week. Herb Jones out for the season, and that's exactly why we look for the big Special K as well, because he's going to get minutes there. OG Anunoby has missed the last 5 games with a sprained ankle. It was a bit of a nasty one. Hopefully returning not long after the All-Star break, so we'll expect an update from them soon. Caruso missed a hip injury for the last game with OKC. He'll be returning after the All-Star break with Cason Wallace. He has been out for a while with that shoulder strain. Not a clear timetable yet on his return. In Orlando, Jalen Suggs has missed the last 9 games with that quad contusion. That's really keeping him out. Hopefully returning next week fully into our lineups and easing back in, I would assume, with the minutes restriction there as well. Jonathan Isaac is in and out of lineups. He missed the last one with the back tightness. That's because he is Jonathan Isaac, and that's what he does. Joel Embiid was out the last of the back-to-back set. We had Tyrese Maxey miss that game with a knee contusion. We've had Paul George on a beach with his wife during the All-Star break with getting knee injections. But the big important news there, Lonnie Walker's been added. Maybe he's a speculative pickup to stream on some night as a back-to-backs. But we've also had Eric Gordon there miss a wrist time with a wrist injury as well. In Phoenix, Devin Booker and Grayson Allen, they missed out the last of that back-to-back with, the last of their sets with a back contusion and with a sore knee, respectively. And Bradley Beal has been down with a toe injury. They are, again, looking to make their returns straight after the All-Star break. So let's make sure we haven't got them still in our IR spots. DeAndre Ayton is going to be reevaluated in 4 weeks' time. And Jeremy Grant and Robert Williams have both missed the last 2 games with knee soreness, respectively. But I expect that they will be making their return into lineups here and there for Portland. We just don't know because, again, it is Portland and we do not know to have a clear pathway for them. In Sacramento, it is smooth sailing, whereas in San Antonio, Charles Bassey has an MCL sprain in his knee. He will pretty much be out, I would say, maybe into the end of the season here. The big one is in Toronto. I've had a few questions asking me what to do with Brandon Ingram. I don't know what to do with Brandon Ingram. Hand on my heart, word of no lie, I told Brano, we add him, we see what can go. I've heard rumors he is coming back, and they want him to play. But now this update on him is really interesting. He is going to be reevaluated in 2-week intervals. So it's not like he's going to be a 2-week interval and like he'll be back. And this has been a long time out with a bloody sprained ankle as well. All right. So we're getting this in 2-week lots. So we can expect an update in 2 weeks. And if that's negative, he's out for a month. So we hold if we have 2 IR spots because it's probably going to be best at this time that we could stream in and out of there. He's not going to be active for the rest of this week nor next week. And then maybe in week 19, we can put him in the roster if he's okay when he is reevaluated and on a minutes limit. I just don't know if it's worth it. Make it someone else's headache at this point in time. Over in Utah, also in Toronto, Jakob Poeltl has missed the last 5 games with a hip injury. He apparently is questionable to make his return later after the break as well. In Utah, Kessler missed the last game with a sprained thumb. Jordan Clarkson sat out on the back-to-back set. Sexton missed the last 6 games with a sprained ankle, and he is questionable to make his return in Utah's games to finish off the second half of this week. If he has jumped off the wire, we pick him up and we definitely give him a stream in, even though we know the value there is in Isaiah Collier and Keontae George for the rest of the season. And in Washington, the new acquisitions of Chris Middleton and Marcus Smart are likely to make their debuts after the All-Star break. These won't be that impactful. I think Middleton here is the ad of the 2 if I need, but we do know that the youth movement is in full swing. And I think they just want to take a peek under the hood and see what they've got, because I don't think Chris Middleton or Marcus Smart are long for the days of the Washington Wizards, in my opinion. My humble opinion. And if you want more of my humble opinion and all those things from inside, make sure you like and subscribe to the show. Be well, take care, get your wins. Week 17. Gosh, we're almost there. Take care, be well, like and subscribe. This is Inside Fantasy Sports.